twice as hard for something you already got. Another orange morning, it's time to show. Another orange morning, it's time to grow. Another orange morning, let the updates flow. Another orange morning, you already know. Friends are coming through the door. Wheels are spinning on the floor. We don't know what we don't know. That's the only way to grow. Another orange morning, it's time to show. Another orange morning, it's time to grow. Another orange morning, let the updates flow. Another orange morning, you already know. What you're looking for is in your hand, been there all along. Pour another cup and pull a chair. Sing along. Another orange morning, it's time to show. Another orange morning, it's time to grow. Another orange morning, let the updates flow. Another orange morning, you already know. Hey! Hey!
Good morning, HubSpot Nation. Welcome to another Orange Morning. It is Friday, July 24th, 2026. Happy Friday, Madelyn, Casey. How are you?
Happy Friday. We are going to the beach this weekend, so that is a real summer activity.
That's a real summer activity.
I probably find myself preparing for a go live with the client throughout the weekend. Big days next week, but exciting when you can get basically ERP light HubSpot built out and working just like we all say that it should, right? So excited for that. I might need some help later in this episode with I went to the Academy Labs Houston, and that was in Houston yesterday, which I wasn't on yesterday morning. Thank you, Trisha. And first part of the day was great. Like, here's how you use Breeze Assistant to build some ICP stuff, get some segments in place, maybe a little campaign action. And the second half was all about AEO. And I want that to land better than it lands in my mind. So might need some help working through that, as I'm sure there's going to be some AEO related update at some point today.
There is. I do like that you were like, the first half of the day was good. Then we got into.
Yeah.
But I did see an AEO update on the list. Now that Chris made me break all the rules earlier. There's no order anymore. We just look at the updates page. We used to have some sort of.
We used to start an hour earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So that meant at the time we were ending, which was 9 a.m. Eastern,
mm-hmm.
a lot of updates that are ready to roll that day
mm-hmm.
hit the board. So there would be these moments where we would go a little bit long, and then somebody would refresh the page after we hit product updates box 0.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like, oh, man, these sound really cool. And we want to talk about them right now, but we have to end the show. And now we don't have to make those choices, I don't think.
Well, I will say when I joined the meeting at 9 a.m., There were no July 24th updates, but there are a couple now. So you're right. The big update that Trish and I went through yesterday was Me Agent Hub, which Chris, when you Slacked me, you're right. This is Breeze Studio. Well, it's different. It's not just Breeze Studio, but like I didn't catch. I knew Breeze had moved, but I didn't really make that full connection. That this was kind of a jump.
It was interesting because there was a moment where somebody at our table, we were looking for where you put the ICP context. And the person that was assigned, like the CSM that was there to help, like couldn't find. So like he went to a different table, started talking to somebody else about where to find it. And it found its way into Agent Hub. Like it was in the place where you could get to it from the nav, but now you have to go into Agent Hub and there was a tab there. So so big deal either way, because it came with a lot of other stuff.
And with it, Trish and I ended up like really kind of diving into this to Scribe it, Breeze Assistant, Build It in Agent Builder. We tested it live on the morning show, and then Trish and I do a Thursday afternoon show, and we kind of did some more testing on that show. And this has been pretty cool. I'll just I don't know doing anything other than that. But now there is a box on here, build your own custom agent or workflow, and you say what you're trying to do, and it will build either a workflow or an agent. One of the things I like about this is I am more familiar with workflows than agents. So I like the idea of if an agent is a better fit for what I'm looking for, having Breeze tell me that, because I don't know if I always would do the best at identifying when should I use an agent versus when should I use a workflow. So I'm excited about that. I will say we tested it a lot yesterday. We were pretty impressed with it. There were a lot of custom coded workflow actions that it would use, which is fine and usually probably a better way than however I would have like worked around without using a custom coded workflow action. But I do wonder about like maintaining and troubleshooting if it's leaning heavily into custom coded workflow actions.
Yep. And I think that's the world that a lot of humans have to get comfortable with. Like, as soon as you go down this route, that means troubleshooting gets handed to AI every single time, right? And it's interesting. It's not surprising for those of us who've been working from Claude Code that if you give the agent an opportunity to solve for something, it will often default to using code to do it. And I think that's like the gap is in the human understanding of how to now manage HubSpot, right? Because that probably is the best way to solve for that thing. It's just we've never chose to do it that way. We've been limited to using the UI, and the agent's basically saying like, no, let's not worry about all that. Let's just do it like the fastest and most efficient way. Yeah.
And then also, and this didn't come up until after I talked to Trisha 2 times yesterday about this. What I'm trying to do now that this is available is anytime I go to build a workflow in HubSpot this, I don't know, this week for the some period of time, starting here instead of starting with a workflow. And I did that last night. I had a workflow I needed to build. I started here. I actually really liked Breeze kind of went back and forth with me on some of like the logistics of the workflow that I hadn't really thought all the way through yet. Because what I normally would do is I would start building and then I would be like, oh, I need a property here. And then I would go and build that. So it started kind of asking me some of those questions up front to think through the full scope, which was really good. and I felt really optimistic. And then we got through all of that and I was like, all right, go ahead and build it. And it said, all right, got it. And I looked and it like was very not right, like multiple issues. So and that workflow used no custom code. So there's a few things I'm like debating right now, and worth noting these are all new features. They're all kind of their betas still, teams looking for feedback, things like that. But one of the some questions I'm immediately having is like, right now, is it better for like single action workflows versus the workflow I was working on? Like, when this happened, do this, when this, that, then like there were a couple different steps. And then also, I think it's probably the strongest when custom code is a good solution. If a custom coded workflow action is not a good solution, in my very, very initial testing, I'm not sure it's as strong with that as I would be, I guess.
That's a great point. And I think too, I think HubSpot admins are really familiar with the question of, should I create 5 workflows that all do one thing or a few things, or should I create one workflow with 5 branches that do all of the things in one workflow? And that's where I could see this kind of being another avenue to help answer that question for someone.
Mm-hmm.
But again, same thing. Like if I can't understand what the custom code is doing anyways, then this probably isn't going to be helping me for that purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so you're saying that when you click start with, it opens a conversation, or like,
yeah, I can go to my conversations from, nope, not there.
So if we tell Breeze what to automate, like researching companies, routing deals, or assigning tasks, and then we click the send button, it opens up a conversation first.
Yeah, this was what I did on the morning show with Trisha yesterday. Like, this was the first thing, and
but it also creates it, right? And I think that's like, this is where the friction is needed. Is like, as I've been testing out the Breeze Builder, like if we're in an LLM, like this obsession with one-shot prompting everything, like, is just not the best way to build anything, right? Like, the people who do have success one-shotting stuff, they have it because they've done a bunch of planning in a different conversation with AI. So like, can we get in a, like, we have to, at least the way I'm going to coach is like, have the conversation. Like, planning is so very important. And that's where the human domain expertise comes in to say, here's what I want to do. Please consider that you might want to make 5 workflows and then stitch them together, or do this kind of workflow. Like, that's where you apply the human domain expertise. If you wait to do it until it's already built, the frame has already been set by Breeze in a way that's very hard to come back from if it did not do what you were expecting it to do. Right.
So when I used this for a client last night, it didn't build right away. It did ask me some questions. But obviously, I think probably could have, should have asked more questions or worked through it more. I haven't untangled all of that yet.
So for all of the product managers who are inevitably watching this, and the next time I talk to you, I'm going to bring it up again. Plan with Breeze. Give me that button in all of these places, at least next to start or make or create or whatever. Like, the super users will know that's the button that they need to hit first. And then it'll be easier to teach others to also hit that button. And I'd be very surprised if the behavioral data from users using the system will not show you very quickly that the plan button is a good idea, like long term. Because it does that in some places, right? Where if you want to have the conversation with Breeze, like maybe it's workflows, where it just starts, it opens a conversation with the context of whatever screens it's on, and then you start the process of getting the help with what you need, right?
Mhm.
So if we have the plan button, that at least gives Breeze the opportunity to say, all right, I need to make this right now, or we're about to have a conversation. Because I would imagine it didn't make it right away because it needed clarification
Mhm.
of some sort, right?
Yeah.
Whole new world. Agent Hub is here.
But I'm learning how to use it better. I'm learning when and where, but it's also going to keep evolving. So excited to see that.
All right. How about some other updates?
Yes. Which, do you want to go to the AEO one that you don't want to talk about?
Sure.
I'm curious about it, to be honest. So
I'm curious why he doesn't want to talk about it.
What is it? AEO citation tracking. The citation table in HubSpot's AEO citations tab has been expanded and redesigned to give you a clearer, more complete view of how your brand appears in AI-generated answers. The table now takes up the full screen and includes 3 new additions: a content type column, a brand mentioned column, and a search function.
why does this matter? The citation table existed before, but it was tucked into the bottom right of the citations tab, making it easy to miss and hard to work with. 2 specific gaps made it harder to act on citation insights. Hidden placements. The table was difficult to find and too small to scan quickly, so most of the citation data went unreviewed. Missing context. With outsourced type or brand mention status as columns, you couldn't easily tell which citations came from which kind of source or whether your brand was actually named when it was cited. No way to filter. With no search capabilities, finding a specific URL in a long citation list required scanning the entire table manually. So let's just open this up. AO table. Here, citations. Oh, this is different in general. Okay.
Yeah, mine, that's funny. Now
Yep.
that you're reading that, I understand kind of what was updated, but mine looks different. So I wonder which version I have.
So I think, yeah, it's this top URLs table that I guess was hidden, apparently was hidden before. And now it has some more columns so you can see the competitors that are mentioned and whether your brand is mentioned. I've been talking a lot about AEO this week. I have a client who I'm working on an AEO, like we're working on filling out their AEO section in HubSpot. And so I've been talking to some of my marketing friends about it. And the thing I think is, I keep saying this to clients, to my friends, it's not that different than SEO. We're just targeting like topics instead of keywords. Like
yes, I completely agree.
But otherwise it's the same. And so I think it sounds scary and it sounds different. But I just like review sites, like those have always been strong ways to get brand awareness and thing. Like I read through some of the recommendations and I'm just like, this is no different than what we've been talking about with SEO for not ever, because at the start of SEO, people were just like keyword stuffing. But for the last 5-ish years, SEO and AEO are not that different.
I feel like it's a huge, it puts a huge emphasis on quality not just, I mean, I guess quantity too, in terms of like being consistent, but in a way that's just quality too. But like quality of your content and relevance of your content for your reader, not just because that's the whole thing about AI is maybe I don't know what words to use when I type it in, but I'm going to ask the question in the language that I know how to use. And it's going to tell me, oh, that sounds a lot like this other thing. I think you might find these articles useful. So like just trying to make good content and be a good human at the end of the day, which we should have been doing anyways the whole time.
But for some reason, we haven't been. And I
Yeah.
wonder why that is.
Well, and now maybe people will be incentivized to pretend to be, at the very least. I don't know.
But the reason they weren't and the reason they haven't been is because the focus has been getting things like SEO to work instead of being a good human and creating valuable content, right?
Yeah. Prioritizing
with
the wrong
that,
things.
right. And with that realization, which I agree with, that SEO, like AEO, is very, very much like SEO, right? As the way it's being presented to the world about how to be good at it, right? The question I would love for everybody to ask is if LLMs came into being and we knew that the questions start with, hey, I need help with this business process, like right now, like, and SEO didn't exist, it never existed before, would we be trying to get good at it the same way that they're suggesting we need to? Because the issue I was having yesterday is we started with putting a buyer question into any LLM of your choosing and see if your brand shows up. And I could not figure out how to ask a question that it would make sense for a brand to show up immediately, because that's not, and I'm trying to figure out, like, is it just me in the way that I've humanized, the LLMs and it's the partner, and I'm never going to start with the most very specific SEO keyword like search. Basically, search query is what we're just shifting over to the AEO tool. If you look at any of the recommendations, it's really hard for me to imagine that anybody starts a conversation with an LLM in that way, right? Like at some point in the conversation, you might get there, but how much control? Like, there's an element of like, first of all, we're basing it on this foundation of like, that's not really like, is the first thing I do type into GPT like best of in XYZ for XYZ? Like, I don't think so. I'm sure there's some population that's just shifting their Google habits over, and maybe that's way bigger percentage than I think it is. Even for those folks though, when they do, and then that gets conversational, they're gonna get out of that habit, because they're gonna know that, oh, if I talk to it like normal, it's not search, it's not a Google search, it's a conversation. So let me actually say my natural language that I need help with, right? And if we start with that let's say false premise, and then build all of this stuff based on that, like, that's why we don't have time for being a good human and creating valuable content, because we're following all these recommendations for a world that may not like exist.
Yeah.
And that's like my challenge.
All the examples I can think of are more B2C. But I can think of a few times in the last few months where I've used AI to pick what I'm going to purchase. But most of those are B2C. So I guess, I don't know.
That could be a good distinction. Like B2C works great,
Mhm.
you know, and that's really where it comes down to, like just the heading of this box.
Mhm.
Learn how to
I know.
use the SEO tool
It
instead of
popped up on its own, to be clear. I didn't.
right. Instead of learn how to understand your buyer. Like even like learn how to do the express stage of loop marketing. Like learn how to do more valuable, higher quality in all the different ways you can instead of learning like tools. Yeah. That's like the nicest way I can put this too.
So the AEO project I'm doing for my client, they sent me a list of queries they wanted to track with AEO. And they were all branded. They were all like, I am ready to buy from this brand. Like a keyword basically, like, how do I get started working with Casey Hawkins on HubSpot? Like those were the queries that they sent me. And I was like, love these, but to your point, like that's unlikely that we're gonna like, and they have 25 prompts in their portal. They were looking at upgrading, but I was kind of like, if we're gonna upgrade, I don't think we should upgrade for these like very branded prompts.
Right.
So then I did some kind of research back to them and suggested some things that were still like on the buying journey. They work with higher ed, so things like topics like higher ed requirements and like certifications and maintaining compliance and things like that. Problems that my client solves for, but not specifically asking for my client, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Let me just share this gotcha in real time. Because we want it to work. We want it to be this easy. We want the HubSpot that we're paying for to figure it all out, give us the recommendations, and then we just execute the plan based on those recommendations, and we see numbers go up, some kind of numbers somewhere, right? And I have not had any expectations as an individual who has not focused on the SEO ability or AEO ability of the website or what I do, because I'm in the community having conversations, and that's how I drive pipeline. Like if we're gonna get sales processy about it, right? So I've never expected to have any visibility, like at all, in this kind of way, right? And yesterday, I had
I was
like,
forced to put prompts in.
let me see how we can. How do we get to
Ooh,
prompt?
you have 0.11.
Right.
I've
And
only
zero
ever been at
and it was 0 yesterday. Right.
Yeah.
So if we're like, right. So where is it? What obstacles prevent executives from getting value from AI consulting engagements? Right. I added a few yesterday because the first time I came in here, so date created like April 14th, right? and you look at these, it's like, how do operations leaders know they need AI native consulting services? Just like a bunch of like, nobody's looking for that.
Mhm.
Like most people don't know what the word AI native, like they don't use that in their vernacular, right? They're not going to look like, I'm having trouble with AI. I'm having trouble with this. And it was really hard for me to get there in this Gemini chat where I'm like, okay, if I were to do that, I don't want to ask for, hey, give me some good agency options for AI native transformation. It's like, nope. And when is the LLM going to suggest not doing it yourself, first of all, and then like making suggestions, right? So I spent a little bit, I didn't work that hard, actually. I just added 10 prompts, right? And now my humanity comes in and sees this number that went up. And I'm like, oh man, maybe I should spend more time over in this tool. Maybe I should try to figure this out. And like, if I were to spend time, like the way I would do that is content like this.
Mhm.
And now we're spending a fair amount of time on this show talking about this thing instead of the other updates, instead of Agent Hub, instead of data model stuff, right? And I don't think it's that far-fetched for me to connect that. If I'm making that decision, that's what we're talking about when we say, if you're focused on this, you're not focused on other valuable things you could be doing for the business. And whether or not you know that you've intentionally prioritized that, which is fine, right? Like if you choose and know, like let's say you're B2C and you've decided that you understand AEO very clearly and it's a priority for you to get this right, that is different from, I have this HubSpot to work with. I see a lot of value in intent signals, but I'm not sure how to get that working. AEO looks a lot easier. So I'm going to go over there. Right. So just have a little bit of intention as always and understand like HubSpot is also figuring this out. It is not as picture perfect like SEO was, where Google, it was very clear, black and white, searches are happening. This is what happens when they search, right? They are trying to guesstimate some of these prompts based on an overall composite of what's happening in any given conversation, right? And because HubSpot is in the position they are, they can drive how AEO is perceived in the entire industry. So just have some perspective as you dive into this.
And to your point, like it's going to depend on what your business is. Like Chris, you do AI native consulting, like, and you run a fairly small business. You don't need that much demand to, like, you can do it all with LinkedIn and community engagement and stuff like that.
Right.
That's not, and you know where your audience is.
Right. And when it comes to loop marketing, which was how this session was packaged, like every business needs to know where their audience is. Some don't because they've been spending time on letting Google figure that out for them. Right. And like, I almost forgot the best part here, like, because we're not even talking about statistical significance of what's happening here, right? And how much decisions, like if I make the decision to start focusing on this because it's 11% based on one prompt that's showing, right? I come over here.
0.11%, just to be clear.
0.11%, thank you. I come over here.
Wow.
This was 0 yesterday.
Okay.
And now it's 80%.
Yeah.
You're killing it.
like an NLP-based measure of how positively or negatively your brand is described in AI responses.
But now it's going to go back down because you're grumpy at the standing desk today.
I know. And this is also, 719. It's so black boxy.
Yeah.
And
I do think something that I've been, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Chris.
I'll just say that, like, it's black boxy, and the HubSpot is helping us make it not black boxy by giving us all these visuals,
Yes.
these citations, like all of this stuff. But when it's on this foundation of, like, based on that prompt and what the recommendations are going to be based on showing up in that prompt, if nobody's like doing that prompt, like,
Right.
how valuable is it to go, like, because a lot of what we went over yesterday is how you get cited.
Yeah.
Right. And it can tell you exactly how to do that. You can spend 1,000 credits
Right.
to get a blog post created that is apparently very good at that outcome.
Mhm.
But even yesterday, they're like, that's only for one-off situations and doesn't make sense for our use case where we have a focused campaign and then focused ICP and a focused plan.
Right.
Guess anybody who's not there is not going to, like, connect those dots.
Mhm.
Right? They're going to come here and it's like not campaign versus it's like how many blog posts.
Mhm.
And do we want to stick with the full campaign that we planned on, or do we see this quick win to try and activate, a little bit more visibility, because that's what we're supposed to be doing. All right. I'm off the soapbox. Maybe. Probably
No,
not.
you're standing. So you are
Yes.
on the soapbox right now.
I know.
Becca, I don't know who said I didn't work that hard, or it was it was you.
I said it. Yeah. Because there's an element of AI is always getting better. When I made these prompts back in April, right? None of the AI we work with, that's like 2 models ago, right? HubSpot's on that foundation. So it wasn't surprising that the recommendations this time were better than last time without me having to work hard, right? They made a little more sense. They're a little less SEO-y, right? So I said, let's try again, right? Let's see. But then it, like, puts me in a position where I still don't really understand how it's happening. And so the effort it takes to understand what content needs to be made to check all these boxes and see the score go up is a lot of effort, right?
Yeah. All right.
Sorry, I took over the whole show.
No, I think it was good to dive into that. I don't know. Fun day.
Yeah.
AO and Agent Hub.
Yeah.
But I do have some good news.
Oh yeah.
I'm thankful.
We're out of Mercury in retrograde.
I have heard that was ending.
Yes.
Thank goodness.
Mercury is no longer in retrograde. And for those who don't know what that means or they need a refresher, in broad public astrology terms, Mercury retrograde is when everyday Mercury topics feel more tangled, communication gets crossed, replies lag, plans change, tech acts up, travel gets messy, and old conversations or unfinished business resurfaces. And Mercury was in Cancer, which meant Mercury retrograde was happening in Cancer. So many astrologers also described it as feeling more emotional than usual, with many people revisiting family issues, old memories, sensitive conversations, or situations that needed closure. So everybody's astrology apps were saying, don't quit your job, don't break up with your boyfriend, don't book a plane ticket, like just wait it out, just like calm down. So, but we're out of it now, and now
So you can quit your job. You can break up with
Yeah,
your
you can do
boyfriend.
whatever you want
You can
now.
buy your plane ticket.
And now we're in Leo season. So Leo, the lion, is a strong fit for HubSpot updates that feel visible, bold, leadership-oriented, creative, or centered on self-expression and presence. And Leo energy is about stepping into the spotlight with confidence, heart, and creative authority. So a lot of the HubSpot updates recently, there have been obviously a lot of big ones recently, like Agent Hub, Breeze Assistant building an agent builder like we just went over this morning, customizing title card on CRM records, small but mighty update there. All of the index updates that we've been seeing, workflow templates, lots of like things that really help admins and users make the most of their experience in their portal in HubSpot. So a short but sweet horoscope for today. Let me bring it up for Leo.
I mean, the way you described this season is exactly what, like that applies directly to the kinds of AI ROI dashboards that we
Yeah.
need to be generating
Yeah.
for folks. So I will find a way to connect those.
Is that your way of making sure we touched on?
Yes, got it in at the last second.
And we didn't forget it. We did it.
Yeah, what a cap to the week that has been the theme of AI ROI. I mean, everything we talked about is going to roll up into that. So feeling better now that Leo's on our side.
Good.
Get out of this Mercury chaos that has been happening over this week.
Oh, Mercury retrograde this time. I'm ready.
I'm pretty sure the middle of the week, everybody was having tech issues at some point.
I woke up and I was getting ready for the show and I thought, did Steven take the trash out last night? It wasn't trash night. Like it's Friday. Like, yeah, everybody's all messed up.
We're on the way out.
Come on, Leo. Lead us out of it. All right. Well, it's been a fun week. And until Monday morning, everybody have a great weekend. We'll see you next time.